Hello, Revere. Happy New Year. This is the January 2018 show, and welcome to the Revere Senior News. And before we start, it's frigid outside, Steve, so why don't you expand on the coldness?
Well, it is pretty cold. I see you have a hat on and a jacket. It's kind of cool in the studio here, but outside, I have to tell you, it's so cold I saw a dog stuck to a hydrant.
Did you really?
I did. I did. And I also saw the turkey, too.
Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm glad you saw the turkey. Can I say something for
Sure, go right ahead.
You know, I've seen the turkey for months around North Revere, South Revere, East Revere, West Revere. You know, we have a bird for the United States called the eagle, our national bird. Maybe Revere should think about making that turkey our national bird, the turkey, the national bird of Revere. So, we'll pardon him this coming Thanksgiving. Go ahead, Steve.
All right, so we're speaking about weather, so I think it's important now that we're in January to once again highlight the cancellation policy for the Rossetti Cowan Senior Center. And it goes like this, folks. The Rossetti Cowan Senior Center will be closed and the senior shuttle will not be operating whenever the Revere public schools are closed due to inclement weather. Please be advised that if the weather is creating a problem, and a commuting problem at that, regardless of whether the schools are closed or not, you really should call the center at 781-286-8156 just to be sure that we're open to the public. And for you seniors out there, just because the Revere public schools are closed, the staff and I do go in. We're just not open to the public because it's dangerous, and like weather today or an impending storm, we know that a lot of seniors won't get out. But our staff does go in, and it gives us a chance to catch up on a lot of things, to clean out our files, to do invoicing, whatever it takes.
Question.
Sure.
What are the hours and time that the senior shuttle does run? When it starts at and when does it end at?
Well, there's two different types of groups, as you know, Morris. We have the senior shuttle that takes people just to the senior center and home.
Yep.
We usually start picking up about 8:45, 9 o'clock, and we try to get as many people to the senior center early as we can. And both Dennis and Jim bring them there, hopefully by between 8:30, 8:45, and 10 o'clock. However, our outside appointments are for those people who usually don't come to the senior center, but go to the doctors, the dentist, the pharmacy, you know,
right.
BJ's,
Shopping.
Stop Shop, whatever it might be. And we usually start those about 10 o'clock. On Wednesday, if you wanted to go to Walmart in Lynn.
Oh, in Lynn?
Yep. Or if you wanted to go to the Square One Mall.
Yep.
We usually set an appointment every Wednesday at 11 o'clock. And for any senior shuttle ride, you have to be pretty flexible. And it's not like a one-on-one attention. I might pick you up, but I might pick up 2 or 3 people along the way. So
I'd like to mention about the cold weather that you just mentioned here.
Yeah.
I was in London a couple of months ago in England, and I went to see Big Ben, but I couldn't see it because it was very foggy. And it reminds me of that Big Ben. Because it was foggy, I couldn't see the time at any time there.
Well, I guess I'll have to be your lookout, I guess. I don't know, and see
Yep.
if I can see the clock of the Big Ben change.
Okay.
All right, so let's touch base on a couple of things before we get into our topic of discussion today. I do want to let seniors and you were there today, know that we started a new class called Latin Gold.
Oh.
And a guy named Miguel Vargas, who also teaches in Everett and several other places, teaches Latin Gold. And what it is, it's a upbeat, high-driven tempo exercise/dance segment that invigorates you, gets you moving to Latin music. And we had our first class early this month, January 2nd, and I'll tell you, people loved it. It's every Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 10:50 a.m. And Miguel really gets people moving, gets those bones loose, and if you're cold, this will make you hot, like a hot tamale.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask you, when you say Latin music, is it like Zumba? I mean, Zumba, I know.
Well, Zumba is to Latin music. I happened to go up to the class, the first class that we had this month, and we had Gloria Esteban here, you know,
Yep.
as far as on the iTunes. We had Enrique Iglesias.
Yep, that's Julio's kid.
Julio's kid. There's just a number of upbeat Latin tunes that were being played, and there were all kinds of different movements that the people were doing. And I think for his first class, I think he had 10, 11 people, which on a frigid day like we had is pretty good, pretty good.
Right.
So let me just touch base on a couple of other things.
Go ahead, right.
The Senior Center has a special monthly luncheon. January 23rd this month is our special monthly luncheon. Steve the Dude Capano will be playing dance music. So as usual, you will be playing from approximately 8:30 till about 12:30.
Yep.
And then he'll come on and he'll be playing all kinds of dance music for the seniors, and it will be a lot of fun.
Right. You know what I'd like to see too, Steve? We have a birthday. I believe it's the last Tuesday of the month.
We do.
You know, a lot of people don't show up, but if they're seniors and if they can only make it on that birthday, we'd love to have them come down.
We'd love seniors to come every day, but you're absolutely right. You know, a lot of seniors don't realize it, but we do have a monthly celebration for all the birthdays that are in, say, January. And we have a nice cake and coffee, and there's always activities going on at the Senior Center.
Right.
Yep.
And tell us some of those great activities, because a lot of people move into Revere who never even heard of us.
Yes. Well, you like to read, and you like to keep up on current events. I know you watch a lot of TV shows.
Oh, yeah.
About
No one's going to
things.
steal my TV. I watch it day and night.
Yeah, I know you watch a lot of very educational and current event type TVs like Smithsonian Institute Network.
Yep.
And things like that. The Learning
History
Channel
Channel
and that kind of
right.
thing. Well, our senior book club sometimes does touch on historical events, and occasionally they do have a book. The last book they read was about the 1936 rowing team, and that Olympics was famous because of Jesse Owens winning the gold medal. But there was also a rowing team that beat a lot of odds as well, and that was I think it was called Boys on the Boat. I think that was the name of it.
I'm not familiar with that.
But anyway, right now at the Senior Center in January, on January 18th to be specific, is the Senior Book Club, and it's from 2:30 to 3:30. Janice Van Hoekelum from the Revere Library provides the books. We have nice snacks. People get assigned the book. They're given the book. They read it, and they come back the next month and discuss it. And it's probably got about 8 to 10 people on a regular monthly basis.
Right.
So that's great.
I would like you to mention something else, if you would, Steve. Carol Donovan, our nurse.
Yes.
When is she coming down in January?
Okay, that's a good point, because that's what I was going to talk about next. So,
Oh, you're a great memory.
she's there twice, Morris.
Twice, okay.
Yeah, January 4th
Yep.
and January 18th from 11 to 12. She'll take blood pressure and individual consultations. She usually comes down into the dining room first, and then she'll go upstairs.
Wait a minute,
And
January 4th
4th and the 18th,
and January 18th. Thank you.
between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m.
Yep.
And that's for blood pressure. And as you know, she came down and gave us all flu shots too.
Oh.
But from what I understand, because the flu shots were so limited in the strains that they provided the shot for, a lot of people have been getting sick, and so the flu shot is only 10% effective this year. But without that flu shot, if you had not got it, you would probably be very sick for a long time. And that's what I most recently heard.
Could you do me one favor, Steve? Please
Sure.
repeat those dates for Carol Donovan.
January 4th and January 18th.
That's what I did.
Okay.
Yep. And it's 11 a.m.
11 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Other things going on, the monthly podiatrist clinic.
Yep.
It happens every first Wednesday of the month, and it's January 3rd. So Dr. Kaplan will come down. It's first come, first serve. You can't make reservations.
Oh.
And he'll be there as long as people are there.
And what does he exactly do?
Well, he cuts toes
Yep.
and trims the nails and takes care of any issues you might have relating to the foot.
But
So a lot of people depend on that. And so it's a good thing. He's been coming to the center for years. You know, and he probably charges less than what your insurance pays for. So that's why a lot of people come.
oh, I see.
Yeah. We have a chair massage therapist.
And what are his hours?
The doctor, he's there from usually 8:30 until.
Until he gets done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Our monthly podiatry clinic is held on the first Wednesday of every month.
Yep.
January 3rd. So if you folks out there need to see a podiatrist, come down and see him. The chair massage therapist, Barbara McDonald, will be there on Monday, January 8th She's usually there approximately 9 o'clock. And the only other thing I want to mention right now is you will be getting a new Medicare card in April. And it will be sent out between April 2018 through the 2019 year, through April of 2019. If you need to get information on this new Medicare card, you can call 1-800-772-1213.
That's
So,
great.
I'm looking at the clock always,
Yep. Oh, no.
and we have a hot topic here. I don't know if you can see the clock, but
Yep, I
it's,
wish they had it in London like that so I could read it when I was there.
it's about 17 minutes, so people at home know we've got about 17 minutes to talk about a couple of things.
Right.
One is, what can you do to prevent falls? Extremely important.
And I could really talk on that because I did fall.
Yes.
And before we start, I got to thank two people, and then we'll go into deeper, if I may. I was a Mass General, and I had stitches, 7 stitches, and then 10 of this, what they call sutures, where they they melt away.
Yes.
And then I went Friday, they took the staples out, so I'm glad about that. I would like to thank two of the great doctors of Mass General in Boston, Dr. Wainwright and Dr. Benzar. They did a terrific job on my scalp because it was open, and they closed it up. And I came in the morning, and I went home the same day, and I went back 2 weeks later, and thank God I'm still kicking.
Well, you have to be very careful. I remember when you fell. I don't know if we talked about it on the last show.
No.
But I know that you were coming out of your house.
Yep.
You were ready to board the van.
Yep.
And there was a problem with the sidewalk.
There's still a problem
There's
with
still a problem with the sidewalk. And you took a header. You actually hit the bottom of the first step of the bottom of the shuttle.
So, yeah.
And your head got lodged underneath.
I
You
know
did
that.
it. And there was blood everywhere.
And thank God for Jimmy.
Jimmy helped you. Jimmy didn't move you. He
Jimmy,
got-
I want to mention Jimmy Carlton in case people
right.
don't know who Jimmy is.
Right. Yep.
Yep.
And he did a great job. He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, better than that.
And for you, I'm sure you're most grateful.
I am.
And it was great that he did that. And he's a good guy, and he looks out for everybody.
I'm sorry that he ruined a roll of paper towels because he grabbed that and put it under my head to keep my head a little
Which is a good thing because, as you told me, and you told a lot of people, the ambulance came and the EMT said, as well as the doctor, that if he had tried to move you,
No, I wanted to move.
You wanted to move, I see, okay.
I was knocked down for a while, but then when my eyes opened, I wanted to move, and he wouldn't let me.
Right, and that prevented you from bleeding out, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're here today because of Jim Carlton?
Right.
And I'm sure he did everything he was supposed to do, and it's a great thing, and he does look after seniors.
And talking about falling and things, I got a couple of questions I'd like to ask you, and I'd like to start out with the first one. Number one is exercise to improve your balance and strength. And you do have exercises for that at the senior center.
3 days a week, we have the Core and Balance Fall Prevention with Sharon. And what this does is it prevents you from falling by giving you tips and exercises to, one, build your leg strength, build your core, and gives you the confidence that should you fall, you know how to fall right. A lot of times we fall and we don't have time to think. What she does is she teaches you how to be instinctive so that you can fall or try to fall in such a way that you don't do a lot of damage. She also encourages not only the exercise that she does, she encourages Tai Chi, the Latin Gold we spoke of, as well as the combo exercises that we have at the Senior Center. Lack of exercise leads to weakness and an increased chance of falling.
Now, that's one question. The other question about falling, because if you have poor vision, that does not help you either. So I was wondering, do we have anything at the senior centers where they, check your vision, or someone might be coming in the future to do that?
Well, we don't, and that's not a bad idea to have somebody come. Now, we have had somebody from an optometrist come
Right.
at one time, but he only came a couple of times. Maybe it's something we could look into and see if somebody can come a little bit more often.
Once a month even would be good.
Yeah, maybe.
maybe
It's something
even-
to think about. The other thing is that, when you change medications, if you're on medication, that can affect you. So you really need to review your medications with your doctor, because sometimes that may give you some tips on preventing dizziness, and sometimes your medication change can cause you to be dizzy and fall.
Right. Another thing is about falling, Steve. You know, a lot of people don't fall outside like I did. They fall right in their own home.
Right.
And what can you do to make your home safer?
Well, I know that strategically placing furniture a certain way can
Yep.
help. Pillows certainly help on the couches and that kind of thing. Rugs that don't slip and slide.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of different things like that that can help you. But the most important thing is when you are older and you get up and down from a chair or a couch, take your time. Don't act, very quickly.
Right.
You know. Now, the other thing, and I know you were going to ask me, because we talked about this online before we came on the air.
Yep, I want to say one thing. When you say get up slowly
Yeah.
and thing, there's an old German saying, if I can say it, it's in German. It's called langsam aber sicher. That means slowly but surely.
I think that I had that on
Did you?
a piece of rye bread the other day, and it was actually delicious.
What, that saying? No.
No, I'm just making a joke. Jeez, never mind.
No, but I
Pass
mean,
that one over.
you know,
But anyway,
but I always loved that saying when I was overseas.
yep. So about vision, you were talking about vision before we came on the air, and we both wear glasses, and a lot of people wear glasses.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things that can cause you to fall is the wrong prescription. If you have glaucoma,
Like I was going to mention that. Yep.
poor vision,
Cataracts.
if you haven't updated your prescription, I mean, we take it for granted that we don't need to be checked because I can see fine, but in effect, you may not. You may need some extra strength in your prescription, so that can help you to fall.
Right. Now, like I said, people usually fall in their own homes. And if they're going up the stairs, they should have a safety rail.
It should be a safety rail. It should be well lit.
Right.
Sometimes people put, when you're going up your stairs, the rubber mats as
Yep.
you go up the stairs, not like floor
Loose,
mats,
I mean,
loose floor mats, but like
fixed.
adhered to the floor,
Right.
rubber mats. And obviously, you should always make sure your shoes are tied and you have the right soles on your
Right.
shoes and that kind of thing. But all those things can help you maneuver up the stairs a little bit better.
Right. And one thing I felt when I was at the VA in Brockton is they gave me tools that would help me if you can't bend over, because some people can't. They have a sore back or thing. They have things that you can put your socks on, slip your foot in.
Right.
That'll help you so you don't have to kill yourself. Or they have long shoe horns to get your
That's
shoes
right.
in.
And we actually have numbers for that kind of thing to order those things, or we can direct you to, say, Walgreens or Rite Aid that also sells.
Oh, they sell them
They
too?
sell them too, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in the medical product aisle.
But if people need help on those things, they can call the senior center?
Yeah, and we can even call the pharmacies if they're not sure if they should go to the pharmacy to check it out. We can call the pharmacy to see if they have those kind of things.
great.
Yeah, because they sell the walkers, the wheelchairs, and canes and that kind of thing. Now, what about you talked about making home safer? That's what we were talking about.
Yep.
So we talked about things that make you trip too. We didn't talk about that. So instead of leaving things on the floor, whether it be a book or papers or shoes and that kind of thing, you might forget you left them there and you could
Right.
fall.
I'll tell you what I noticed in a lot of places, but I look out for that because to be safe, is if you walk into a shopping store or someone else's home, if they have rugs on the floor and they're not fixed, sometimes the edge of the rugs will turn themselves
Yep.
up a little bit.
Yep.
If you know what I mean, they'll come up a little.
Yep.
You could trip on that and have a good fall.
Yeah. Okay, here's another thing
Shoot.
that we didn't talk about. We talked about almost everything else. We have to keep items that we use in the cabinets on a regular basis on the lower shelves.
Because you can't reach
You
up.
can't reach.
Right?
You know, they do sell those claw, I call it the claw.
Yep,
but
yep.
It's that device that helps you reach things high up. But then again, a lot of seniors, they'll step on a step stool and they won't use that.
Right.
And that's not a very good thing.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because when I came home, the nurse that came in to take care of me, she says, "What dishes do you use mostly?" And I showed her these, and she switched it around. She took the
Yep.
ones that were on top, glasses that you have, to drink.
Yes.
Right on the bottom, so you don't have to elevate yourself to go get them.
Yep. And the special medication like ginger flavored brandy and things like that you need to go to sleep better with.
I'm not a doctor, but let me tell you, no, I'm not a doctor, and I hope people don't take this, but from experience I'm speaking. There was one time I couldn't stop coughing for 2 to 3 weeks. I just kept coughing. I asked a friend of mine. I went to the doctor, which I did. He gave me the flu shot. He gave me everything, but it still didn't stop the coughing. He says, try some ginger brandy. And he mentioned the word specifically, ginger.
That's what I
no,
use.
no other kind, just ginger. And he says, you take a little bit in your mouth, gargle it, spit it out, and then take a little bit and swallow it. And I did that for about a week or two, and thank God.
I live by that. I actually do.
Do you really?
Use that. I do.
As a matter of fact, I was going to go get a bottle. I got to pick up another bottle because I just ran out.
Hiram Walker, $11. I know it well.
Yep, 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 exactly.
All right, so in summary about what we're talking about, I'm just going to read off what we talked about in summary. It's on the back of the brochure that we have, right
Yep,
there.
go right ahead.
4 things you can do to prevent falls. 1, exercise to improve your balance and your strength.
Right,
2, have your healthcare provider review your medication.
right.
3, have your vision checked.
That's what we thought. Yep,
And 4, make your home safer.
right.
So there you have it in a nutshell.
Okay.
Now, the other thing we have about 7 minutes left, which does seem like a long time, but it really isn't.
Nope.
So we have a brochure, folks, if you're watching at home,
Oh,
And it's
about
called-
keeping your aging parents safe.
keeping your aging parents safe.
I got to watch out for my great grandfather.
All right. Now, these are tips, okay, that were brought to us by
Okay.
Chief Chris Bright of the Revere Fire Department when he came to our meeting. Okay?
Can
And
I
he-
start over one here? I just want to.
Yeah, let
but
me
you
just-
can expand on it.
No, I just want to introduce it and then go ahead.
Okay.
The Massachusetts State Fire Marshal offers these tips to keep our aging parents safe from fires and burns in their homes.
Okay.
Go for it.
But the reason I want you to expand on this one because I do a lot of my own cooking. What are some of the safety precautions for cooking?
Well, in far as cooking goes, you have to consider installing high heat limiting burner covers because the water boils at a certain temperature, but a piece of paper boils at another, which would turn it brown, but it will not ignite. In other words, that's just an example that you have to be very careful on setting the temperature on the stove. That's what that whole point is about.
I have to say this from experience. I love coffee and I love tea. When the kettle boils, the handle on top of the kettle,
Whistles?
the kettle does whistle to let me know the water's boiled.
Right.
But the handle gets as hot as heck.
Okay.
As
But
heck.
that's not good. You should have a rubber handle.
No, so we got a glove at home that's fire resistance and heat resistance. And I put that glove on,
Of glove?
one glove.
Of glove.
Yep.
That's what they
Put it
call
right.
it. Yeah.
Okay. And I use that so people maybe should think about having a heat resistant glove. And,
Absolutely. Or buy a kettle that has a handle that doesn't burn. You know, doesn't,
I mean,
doesn't
get
heat
hot.
up.
Get
right,
hot.
right. But, you know, also, you know, a lot of seniors might forget to turn off the burner, whether it be electric or gas. And I believe both are equally dangerous should they be left on a long time.
Right. The next question I want to go with you is if you do get burned, what are some of the first 8 things you should do if you're
Well-
not viciously burned?
Well, first of all, you know, you have to cool a burn, but you should call the fire department and call 911, obviously, and immediately seek assistance, that's for sure, for real serious burns. They say for minor burns, you can run cool water over your hand or your arm or whatever it is.
Right.
But you really should seek medical help by calling 911. All right,
Right.
we're down to about 4 minutes now.
No, that's okay. But the thing I was going to say, like if you have a fire, let's say the kitchen catches on fire, and if you have doors, make sure they stay locked so the fire doesn't spread out, and get out of there and call 911.
When you leave, close the door. And
Exactly.
I think you and I were talking about the fire in New York
Oh,
where
yeah.
the people left the
12
door
of them,
open
12 of them got burnt to death.
and the fire traveled.
Right up the stairwell.
Right. Another thing, electrical safety, it's very important
Yep.
that we take care of blown fuses or tripped circuit breakers.
Yep.
Okay. Flickering lights, if you smell an odor of any kind, if something's burning, you call an electrician just to evaluate your system.
Right. And everyone should have in the house a fire detectors.
Yes, I actually at home have what they call a dual system. It's a fire alarm and a carbon monoxide alarm.
Yep.
And it's voice activated. So I encourage anybody out there not only to have it make the sound, but also be a voice activated.
You mean it'll wake you up at night if something
It'll
goes
yell
wrong?
fire, 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 or
Oh.
it'll say, you know, something else.
And where do you get those things? 'Cause
Carbon
I-
monoxide.
I
You get
know.
them at Home Depot.
Oh.
They're just like any other fire alarm
Do they need
system.
special wiring or just a
No, they run by battery.
Oh,
Some are hardwired, but most are run by battery.
batteries, yeah. I'd
Yeah.
rather have the battery kind.
Yeah. But you have to make sure you also replace the batteries every 5 to 6 months
Yep.
and make sure you test it periodically as well.
Before we continue, are there any new things you got planned for our senior center?
Well, there's a lot of things. I know that coming up, we're always evaluating what we offer seniors as far as health and exercise. I would like to see more seniors come to the senior center so that we could have big card games and dominoes and things like that. We have a lot of health and
We
exercises.
got a pool
as
table there.
We have a pool table. We have about 4 or 5 guys that play pool.
What about bocce?
Bocce, there is a bocce league every Thursday.
Is
from
it filled up?
Yes, it runs from September to May.
Oh.
It's from 12:30 to 3:30. However, that's only on Thursday. I encourage people to come any afternoon to play bocce. You don't have to have an appointment. If you want to come with 10 people and play bocce, come on down. You know, the winter months, and it's an indoor bocce court, folks, in case you didn't know. It's on the
Right.
second floor. So if you want to practice for the spring, if you play elsewhere, if you play, like I know the Satter House has an outdoor court. We get people from Chelsea that play outside. They don't have an indoor court. You can practice in our place.
Right now, the bocce, which is on the second floor, also we have an elevator in case you can't walk up.
Right. We do have an elevator. So anyway, and it's talking about Big Ben. There's about a minute and a half left.
Take a
Should we
minute.
wrap it up?
Yep.
We never get to finish what we're talking about.
That's good. We can save it for the next time.
All right, so folks, Happy New Year again. I just want, on behalf of Morris and myself, Happy New Year. I encourage you to come to the Senior Center, spread the word. We want more seniors to come. Get out of your home. Don't be isolated. 4 walls is not good to look at. It's better to look at handsome guys like us and all the beautiful women that we have at the Senior Center. And take part in lunch or breakfast even. We even have some breakfast snacks that we serve. You don't have to be an exercise guru or aficionado. You can just go up and watch the exercise. You can watch a movie every Wednesday. There's just so many different things happening.
So I want to say, Steve, it's an honor working with you. It's an honor co-hosting the show with you. So I want to say, first of all, Happy New Year
Thank
to
you.
you.
You too.
And to all the folks out in Revere, a happy, healthy New Year to all of you. A happy, healthy New Year to all our troops who are serving our great country. But most of all, a happy, healthy New Year to the United States of America. God bless the USA, and thank you all for listening. Until next time, I hope we have another great show with another great guest coming up.